The world abounds in change through man's ability.
It's just a little tweeter.
Yep.
So they're not gonna have like big bass response anyway. You know,
No, that's why the subwoofers.
I went home last week and I'm like, why the fuck do these songs sound so fucking bad?
On your like studio monitors.
Yeah. I was like, I thought I finally had something that kind of worked. And I went home like, I gotta tear all this shit down and try again. It's just a little fucking tweeter. Welcome to Foulcast, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Ken.
I'm Doug.
Tell me you didn't start over.
I did.
Delete.
I was fucking re-recording shit.
Honestly, I feel like just trust your monitors. Like they're designed to be the reference for the sound. And if somebody listens to it on their phone and they say it sounds like shit, tell them not to listen to it on their phone.
Yeah.
I even bought like, I was gonna say $80. I think it's like $100 reference software that flattens out the curve that like goes on the certain headphones. Like they have an extensive headphone
Like database.
catalog database where you load up your headphones. It's like, okay, this is what it sounds like even though your headphones say they're flat response. This is the curve we're adding to them, so you get an actual like simulated flat response.
It out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is. I thought it was very helpful until them little fucking tweeters.
You have to keep in mind that nobody else is going to be listening to punk rock on a flat response
Very true.
setup.
Very true.
Yeah. Next time you're gonna spend $100 on Lisa Frank songs, just reach out to one of us to see if we think it's a good idea. Because I think I could have talked you out of that. I would have said, "Now go." You know, if it
I mean,
maybe not.
I've looked at the program for years because if I was remotely confident in mixing, probably done a little more. And like being able to go from studio monitors to different pairs of headphones to moving it around the house and like getting it to sound good, you know, it makes me want to put more stuff out, like finish more stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, once it starts to sound good, I guess that's
Yeah,
probably
once you
where your brain's like, oh,
figured it out.
wait.
Yeah.
Would you mind, if you have them set up that way on YouTube, would you mind sharing the link to the two Russell's tracks? Casey would really love to hear them.
Yeah, sure.
I won't show
I have them unlisted because I just want to play them for you guys. But yeah, I'll send them to you when I get home.
Okay. I won't send anything that you share with me on there with anybody else until you actually post it.
Okay.
Because I know that I wouldn't want the stuff that I'm not done working on going around either.
Especially because he's redoing it all now.
You're right.
Oh man.
I don't know if we ever explained the speakers situation on the show.
You know, we may not have.
Yeah. So the for those not in the room, Doug has found this incredible technology. It is a speaker tweeter hooked up to two, I don't know.
Well, it's not exactly like a tweeter. Like, it's not
It's
part
a
of a
speaker
regular
piece.
speaker. No,
No.
it wouldn't come out of a regular speaker.
What is it?
It's specifically an exciter, so that it will pump whatever signal it's putting out into whatever it's stuck to.
Okay, so it's a piece designed to turn stuff into a speaker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is attached to two, what do we got, like 15 by 15 squares of XPS foam?
24? Yeah, I think they're 2 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah. Two 2 foot by 2 foot squares of XPS foam. The
Yep.
building sheet stuff.
Sanded down, spray painted black.
Yep.
Stuck a thingy on the back.
And they don't sound awful.
That rhymed.
I'm such a fucking dumbass, man. I'm like, did I need to make them in like dot flac? Doug listens to flax. Maybe that was the problem.
Oh yeah.
Tell you what, if you can get me flax, I'll put them on my iPod 5th gen and listen to them with my AKGs. And we'll see how that shit really sounds.
Oh man,
That's the real trick, because I don't like Spotify. I can hear the problem with Spotify music.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't they have like a super premium
They
where they'll
might.
actually stream
They
like
probably
lossless?
do. Yeah, they probably do. Apple Music is better, and I have it because I got it free for a couple months. With
I
my
think
new phone.
Apple does use Apple lossless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I prefer not to use a streaming music service at all, because I don't really check out much new. I prefer to just buy once.
That's why I have a 256
Yeah.
gig iPod.
Mhm.
Like,
That's yeah.
I want a dedicated music player.
Mhm.
Plug some headphones into it.
Although part of me does like, and the like, you want to support the bands in any way you can. So is it worth me streaming the band so they get,
No.
you know?
It would help them out so much more if you just bought their releases on Bandcamp.
Yeah. And that's where I buy everything typically.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't really buy any mass market music. Everything I buy is on Bandcamp.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much.
I think if you stream it from Bandcamp, they get a cut, even if you own it too.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Okay.
That might be the case.
I do like Bandcamp. It could be better, but it could be so much worse.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been buying all of the Brickbats stuff that they've been putting out. Ever since we saw that show. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when we saw the Brickbats, it was like, I think it was just me and Casey. that
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah.
We're watching the show, and Casey's like, "Wait a minute, the drummer is singing." I'm like, "Oh shit, you're right." She's like, "The drummer is their lead singer." Yep. I'm like, that's amazing. Like, yeah, actually, it really is.
Yeah. It's not easy.
No.
Oh,
It's
I
like
can't
it's
play guitar and sing.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name from Brickbats? DW Friend, I think. Something Friend.
Sure.
I think it's DW Friend. Maybe it's WD Friend. If you're listening, I apologize for forgetting your
JB
your
Weld
name.
from the Brickbats.
It's the dude from the Brickbats and Phil Collins. That's pretty much it.
And that band that did Janny Says Turn Off the Radio. Remember that song?
Nope.
Cowboy Mouth.
Yeah, their drummer sang.
Okay.
Now, he had 2 drums and a hi-hat. So
That's it?
that's all he used, and I
Okay.
remember the video. It was just
Are we talking like snare, tom, hi-hat?
yeah. No, snare, bass.
Snare,
bass
bass.
drum, yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about that song a couple days ago for some reason too.
It's one of those shitty songs that is the hook is so gimmicky you'll never forget it.
Well, don't say it again because I've already forgotten
Okay.
it. I want to keep it that way.
I think Atreyu's drummer was their singer.
Oh, really?
I think so. It was one of those metalcore bands.
That's impressive.
Huh.
No, I don't know if Atreyu was any good or not, but
I mean, he's not singing Atreyu songs while playing Atreyu drum parts.
yeah.
Wait. Oh, I thought you
No,
were
no.
saying. I thought you were saying Atreyu's drummer was the singer for that shitty band we were. Just
No.
talking
No,
No.
no, no.
Oh, he was actually the singer of Atreyu.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I guess he was doing exactly the thing I said he was.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, it was on my coworker's Discord, and one of his, I get a stream of enjoyment out of their music. Was it channel? On this, I don't know what they're calling on Discord,
Oh.
but they're a bunch of metalheads. And the one guy, I met the guy at his house, and he's a really nice guy, but the way they think of talking about music cracks me up. It is so fucking, like, it is like you're watching guys discuss NFL plays. the way these metalheads talk about music. It's so foreign to me.
Are they like prog metal fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one guy, he was like, I went to a show and there was this band, and he was like, they had boring hardcore punk drums and sloppy solos, but the singer was blah 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 blah. And he listed all these like comparisons. I was like, I'm not even gonna try. Not even gonna try to tell him you can't call hardcore punk drums boring when you like if you. These are the same guys that I remember hearing them talk. He was saying, I guess they were talking about starting a band. I just enjoyed reading their discourse about it, because he said, "Yeah, I think that this time I'm really going to focus on writing songs that sound and sound good and make you feel something." I was like, "All right, we're learning.
Okay.
All right, we're learning."
He's moving on to the fourth age of Mordor.
Pretty much.
Oh man, I just heard a story about a man who learned what music was supposed to do.
It's really funny, really entertaining. Like,
I mean, that just sounds like prog metal guys to me, though. Like, yeah.
No, and that's very much what they're into. Like,
They're music nerds who happen to have gravitated towards metal.
And that's what, when I met this guy, that's exactly what I got. I was like, oh yeah, this is a dude who is a music nerd, and he's way into playing guitar.
You could probably play some early Genesis for that guy, and he'd be into it too.
Yeah.
Since we were on the topic of Phil Collins briefly.
Just like, dude, if you notice the drums, that's a problem. Like, if it's like a hardcore thrash kind of music, you should not be noticing the drums at all. They should be moving everything forwards.
I mean, as far as hardcore goes, for me, the drums are just part of the like wall of sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's all it should be. It should be keeping the music, keeping the tempo high, keeping it moving. That's all it should be doing.
I'm working my way up to being able to understand hardcore vocals. I can understand black metal vocals now, and some death metal.
I mean, I guess it's just the.
I don't know. I think it's the speed.
Maybe.
I think it's the speed of hardcore that I can't pull it apart.
I think it's all the speed I'm doing.
I think it's the massive amounts of crank I just into my balls.
It's like Satan is speaking to me through the vocals.
Came across the Swedish horror punk band, Left Hand Black. They're fun as hell.
Yeah?
I don't know them. I
They
don't
sing
think
in
I know
English?
them.
Yeah,
I mean, most of them
they
do.
sing in English, but they sing in broken English, which is amazing. It's way old school. Like, the name of the song is the name of a movie, and the song is about that movie.
It's my kind of band.
Yep, exactly. I was like, all right. They have a really good song. Your Vice is a Locked Room, and Only I Have the Key. That's a movie too. That's my track right there.
That's a giallo, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is.
You said they're called
Left Hand
Left
Black.
Hand Black. I typed Right Hand Black for some reason, and the top result that I got from Google was Left Hand Black, song by Danzig.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. Okay.
that makes more sense. That is a Danzig song.
Yeah, it's my shit. They're fun. They're like, it is very much like, oh, they have a song called Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's about the creature from the Black Lagoon. There was a time that was very frowned upon in the scene. Very frowned upon to
just outright make a song about a movie.
just make a song, the thing we all fell in love with. It was very frowned upon.
Yeah, let's not just talk about the thing we all like.
I mean, everyone got very full of themselves.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, you start amassing a following, right? You think, well, I guess that means I'm God.
Yeah, yep.
It's like me when I saw those 50 views for ack.
Dude, I have
The people have spoken.
I've showed that to so many fucking people.
It's so good.
And
Approximately 51.
no, though, like not that many. Like I probably showed like 10 people because that's how many people I know who would probably be interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But like those 10 people have to have each showed at least one or two people themselves.
I probably got a good 6.
Yeah.
I think I got like 3.
Okay, there we go.
Including
Repeat
the two
offenders.
of us.
We got
Yeah.
repeat offenders.
Also, I have watched it probably no less than like 5 or 6 times. So, yeah.
We're viral.
We're that band that writes
Should
songs.
have monetized it. God damn
Yep.
it.
We're that band that writes songs, then other people write words for them. Like that happened with both of the songs we released.
Do you remember the video? It was called, like, the title of it was like Bumble.avi, but it was like all like CG stuff, and it was like this techno music playing over it, and it was all like purportedly this like weird fetish stuff. But it was like Homer Simpson, and like his dick and balls just got enormous while he rotates. You haven't seen this?
No, Doug.
Oh my fucking god!
I would remember that.
Oh boy, we've got something to watch. I don't know if you want to clip out part of the episode while we watch it real quick, so we can comment on
Okay,
it. but-
I'd like to see this. So that's that.
Yep. So, yeah, that got 115,000 views in its first
Over
10 years of
10
existence.
years. Yeah, it's not bad
Yeah,
for that.
I mean, it's doing better than my 10-year-old YouTube videos.
Right. Yeah. But it's doing much better than Peregine's voice coming out of a gorilla.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
that's in the hundreds,
Oh.
maybe like 800.
I have to start spreading that around. That could be a meme.
You ever bringing Hero Plays games back? Or Hero games?
Probably not. Although I have been thinking about doing like Twitch and have it be like maybe like occasional gameplay, but mostly like 3D printing streaming. And to clarify, only because people will sit and watch 3D printers run. Like, I don't know why they want to sit and watch somebody else 3D print something, but whatever.
Is it like ASMR or something?
Maybe. Like, I'll sit and watch my own prints just to see, like, how the machine and the software deal with the requests that I've made of it. But to just watch from a distance, basically, as
I
the
feel
machine
like
goes.
if you put a camera in my utility room where my FDM printer is, it would be, you could probably get views of people just waiting to see when he comes in and curses. Because it's pretty reliable, but it's always like, I'll come in and be like, God damn it!
When you got a pile of spaghetti.
yeah, or something, or the the nozzle's clogged or something.
A den full of Vietnamese men waving money at
Yeah,
the screen.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you could do that. Like if I uploaded, if I uploaded how long this print was meant to, like the software told me how long it was going to take and said, all right, here, watch this. Take bets on when
It's
it's
an
gonna...
8-hour print.
Yeah,
You
let's-
come back in like 7 hours. It failed after 2. Yeah. I actually had some pretty good prints recently. This shell is a 3D print. I think it came out all right.
Is that housing Flappy Bird?
Depends. What will you do if I say yes?
Hey, I'm the Flappy Bird world champion
That's
right
true.
now.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
a very good
multi-cart
print.
with Flappy
Yeah.
Bird on it.
It's a really nice print.
Yep. I gotta get back into the resin printer too.
I think my Elder Scrolls Online career may be coming to a close.
Are they fucking it up that bad?
Oh boy. So they this coming patch goes live on Tuesday. When they released the notes for it, I don't know, like 2 months ago, I think. That's when they started putting it up on like the PTS, the test server, that all the PC players go on and fuck around, and they adjust things based on how that goes. Well, there's a thing called light attack weaving. You hit a light attack in between your skills, and that's how you push your damage much higher.
Yeah.
ZeniMax decided that light attack weaving is too hard for the common player, so they nerfed light attacks to the point that there wasn't a point in doing light attacks, and there was naturally a lot of a lot of hate to that, because that was dropping damage like 40%.
Yeah, if you're used to your like DPS being 40% higher,
That's a problem.
that's a big problem.
It's fucking reaction to how do we fuck over our players that play all the time,
Yeah.
hopefully to get new players.
Well, and like really hard group content. I imagine most of the game is group content, but
At this point, Elder Scrolls has built itself up to have like a ton of solo content.
oh, okay.
I mean, it's been around
Yeah, quite a while.
probably 7-8 years now. So you've got the base game, which is essentially
really has
solo
been that
questing, and then you've got dozens of not dozens, but you've got several expansions. It's an additional like 10 zones maybe. So you have a good bit of solo content,
Okay.
but
I'm just thinking like the more difficult content, you're probably relying on that extra damage
Sure.
so that you can
Yeah.
survive it.
especially because they've designed the last like 2 or 3 trials, which is like the big group raids, like the 12 people raids, they've designed it around the amount of damage in the game. Like there are mechanics in those trials that are damage checks where you will die if you don't put out that damage. Just wipe the entire group. So when they nerfed the damage like 40%,
It
a
just
lot of
became pretty
problems.
much impossible.
Yeah, and their response to everyone's outrage is like, all right, we're not going to nerf light attacks completely, but we're going to change the way these the dots work, damage over time. And
Yep.
we're going to extend their duration, but lessen the damage, so you have to do more spammables. And it came back. People are still missing like 30-40% DPS.
Yeah, I mean, if you lower the damage but extend the duration, that just dramatically
Yeah.
decreases DPS.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt there's ever been something in this game that has been this universally panned. Like, you've got 2 months, people have been on their forums, this does not work, we've tested this, here are the results of this, and they're just like, you guys are always doom and gloom.
Oh, great.
So people are just like canceling their subscriptions, I'm assuming.
Yeah. They're not even waiting for the new patch to drop.
Yeah.
Like, groups have fallen apart, people have flat out left the game.
Jeez.
I can't say I blame them. It
No,
sounds like
not
they're
at
fucking
all.
it up.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're trying to get more subscriptions at the cost of reliable subscriptions.
Yep.
But
That's the same thing that Eve has been doing
Yeah.
too.
that's the thing, though, because, like, the lower end players that they're trying to close the gap on, which they're not actually fucking doing.
Mhm.
That's just their reasoning. They want the end game content to be more accessible to these players, but they're taking their bad DPS and making it worse.
Uh-huh.
And they
Yeah,
fucking
true.
nerf healing too. Like,
How do you nerf healing in an MMO?
That's and that's such a I'm not a programmer, especially not an MMO programmer, but that's very complex systems.
Yeah.
That-
You can't just go fucking things
Yeah,
around.
and there's so much out there. You can't just make that change because it makes it easier for new players and not realize you're probably fucking stuff up in the middle game too that they're probably not paying as much attention to.
And if somebody's been playing your game for 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going anywhere anytime soon unless you make them.
Yeah, unless you make
Yeah,
it so I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea the reason behind the change. Like, they wanted to rein in, like, the high-end groups for some reason. But they've done nothing to actually help the
Do those
lower
high-end
players.
groups affect any other groups?
No.
So it's not like a time thing that only high-end groups can do at the expense of other groups.
No.
So there's no reason to rein it in.
Exactly.
It's literally just they're the high-end groups because they're the most skilled players in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, sure, the techniques that they use are beyond the reach of maybe the average player, but the average player isn't in a high-end group.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if the average player wants to do that content, they have a normal mode, which doesn't require all the damage checks. It doesn't require some of the more difficult mechanics. Like, they can still go in there and farm the gear. I mean, the veteran gear that drops, it's called perfected gear, and it has an additional stat line. But it's nothing that's actually, like, game breaking.
Mm-hmm. More
It's
easy to
just
tweak.
something that's a little
It's just
nicer.
like marginally better.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous because there was no reason for any of it,
Mm.
and
And for them to
everyone's-
continually double down on it too.
Mhm.
Mm.
That sucks.
Yeah, so the game's pretty much just dwindled over the last 2 months, and it seems like come Tuesday, it's gonna get even worse.
Ugh.
I hated that shit with my Galaxy of Heroes Star Wars game
Mm.
when they like realized they had a hit on their hands, and they were like, "Oh shit, people are coming up with techniques to like guilds are finding ways to solo these raids
Mhm.
or whatever. Like, oh, we got to nerf it," and it's like you can't.
You can't just do that.
It's not like, yeah, like people spent fucking money on getting this working. No, nobody like did anything that broke the game.
Yeah,
That was a big part of the fun, was coming up with these weird ass combinations that did all kinds of crazy shit.
So basically, they're just saying, "Hey, all of you people who actually paid us money,
Yeah,
fuck off."
yeah, like the one raid, the third, the team was Chirpatine. It was Palpatine and 4 Ewoks.
Oh my god.
And you could get it into a loop where you and the reason this one I mean their thought was like it was bullshit, but at least they put some thought into their reasoning to make it sound like they didn't want people to be able to just like hit a button and go, because once you set it up, you said, "Okay, Palpatine, fry that fucker," and you hit zap and it would just loop. You didn't have to do anything. Because they were like,
Which is also the fault
Yeah.
of the people who
yeah,
designed the
exactly.
game.
There were
Like-
contingencies where it would just and you would just clear that level. But it took like 3 hours to do the whole fucking thing.
Oh, so you
So-
had to just sit there with your phone plugged
Yeah.
in watching it,
Yeah, so they just
or doing something else and looking every so
yeah,
often.
like it was dumb. So once you hit the auto button, once you set it up and hit the auto button, you just kind of check to make sure nothing went completely awry. They're like, "Yeah, we don't want people auto." Well, don't put a fucking auto button on the raid then. Stupid.
I don't know. At that point, I'm thinking like, I paid for this. Let me play it the way I
Yeah,
want
exactly. It's not hurting anybody. Like in that game specifically, like there are 50 people in a guild. We're not competing with other guilds. They didn't add that in until I quit. So, what's the harm? So long as like, there were raids where everybody would like. Yeah, they went so quick that we kind of had to all get together and say like, okay, you guys go here to here. Nobody else go in. If you go in, 3 strikes, you're out of the guild. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's, I don't know, fixing something that isn't broken because The only way it's broken is if you had in mind that people are going to have to pay a lot of money to get certain characters to do this, and somebody found a way to do it without those characters, and you're pissed that you didn't get the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But you did get some money,
Yeah, right.
and you're gonna screw over the people
And
who
again,
gave it to you.
you're getting money from people that put in money monthly to get whatever. I forget. I don't even remember how it works.
Yeah.
I know that I didn't spend a ton of money in the game because I started when it was young,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of kept up. I don't know how anybody could have got into that game without dumping. Like, I think it was like the fast track thing they put out. It's like, hey, start now. Only $100 to get
Ooh.
ready for raids. And I was like, fuck that.
That's like a special deal price.
Yeah.
And you know what? In the long run, that is a special
Oh,
deal
yeah.
price.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it does speed things up considerably for you. It enables you to catch up.
Yeah.
But, god damn, that's a lot of money
Mhm.
to put into a game that doesn't even feel like a AAA experience.
Yeah.
I was never a big spender in those games, but I did spend here and there because I was like, well, you know,
That's
I
about what I
play
did.
this a lot. I enjoy it.
When
I have
something
no
would
problem
come up-
throwing some money its way.
Yeah. You're like, here's $10.
But-
Whatever.
Yeah, this will get me over this small hump
Yeah.
that I don't want to spend a month on. That's kind of when I would drop a couple bucks.
Yeah.
With MSF, it got to the point where, like, I mean, the last time that game was good was before they introduced the Doom raids.
Mhm.
They just had, like, the Ultimus raids. And in the Ultimus raids, you didn't have team requirements, class requirements, gear requirements, any of that stuff. You can use any character on your roster. Then came the Doom raids. You gotta have mutants. You have to have them geared up to this level, and then you have to have the ISO system geared up to this level too.
Mhm.
So instead of, like, you know, in the old raids, if you ran something and a team died, oh, okay, sucks. Bring in another team.
Mm-hmm.
In the new raids, if you ran something and a team died, you had to spend your cores to revive them, and if you didn't revive them, well, you were just stuck there. And your alliance is like, hey,
Mhm.
we're not gonna hit this because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, because I'm not paying to fucking use one team that's not that strong because I'm over this game.
that's what
Yeah.
that's what killed it for me was I played for years. I played for 5 years, I think. 'Cause, yeah, 2015 to 2000 or 2020, and then it was like I don't remember what they were. They were like Gear 13 relic whatever characters. And there were 4 of them, and it's if in my situation it was like I gotta pick one. I can only dedicate my resources to one, and it's going to bankrupt my resources.
Mhm.
Pick the wrong one, and then they were like, "Hey, like you don't have whatever for the raid. We gotta cut you." And I was like, "I'm done with this game." They're like, "You don't want to go
Yeah.
on?" No, I'm done. I'm like done.
No.
I'm the only one left from the original. There was like 2 of us left from the original guild. I was like, "Nah, man."
You're a fucking OG, and they're like, you don't want to get relegated?
Yeah. I was like, "No,
Motherfucker.
I'm done."
So-
I pretty much quit last year,
Mhm.
but I stuck around for months afterwards because those games just ran people out like that, and it gets to the point where your group can't run raids
Mhm.
because they can't generate the keys anymore. So it's like, all right, guys, I'm going to stick around and do my like quick auto nodes every day. I can do them in like 30 seconds and get you guys your raid keys. I'm not raiding. I'm not in war. I'm not doing any of this shit. I'm here to help you with this because we've played together for
Mhm.
3 years,
Mm.
but I'm done. And it went on like that for a while, and then finally I was like, guys, I don't even want to log in to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Just not even having fun anymore.
It's like,
Like, get to the point where you're not even interested what they're putting in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have our little Discord where it's like you pop in and say how's it going every now and then, but more and more people are just like, fucking done with this.
Yeah.
I haven't deleted it off my phone, but I'm fucking done.
Part of me sometimes I'll like hit up some of the YouTubers just to see what's up with the game, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's that character from the Kenobi shows now. That's fun. Or but I've never reinstalled it because I feel like even if I do, I'm gonna open it up and there's gonna be like 1,000+ things it's gonna tell me I have to do.
I still have it on my phone. I don't know why. I haven't been able to bring myself to delete it, but I have not opened that game in 4 or 5 months now.
Deleting an app does have a finality to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, missing 4 or 5 months has a finality. I absolutely guarantee there is nothing I have that can be used in anything anymore.
Yeah.
And considering that I hadn't actually seriously played it in the last year, yeah, I'd say like last October was when I really started like fall off. When I came back to it, I'd only missed like 2 months, and I was so far gone because I had missed like 3 of the new meta tunes.
Oh my god!
And they
That
rolled
fast.
Dude, they rolled
Oh,
them
they're
out
like monthly.
every 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So even like the one good team I still had, I asked about them a couple weeks ago, and they're like, yeah, they're fucking dog shit now. They cannot do anything. They're a joke.
I forget what I think I went with. I think I went with Palpatine, like resurrected Palpatine from the episode 9.
I remember you talking.
I think
about
that's
that.
the one that I
Yeah.
dumped everything in, just thinking like, that's got to be a damage dealing character who's just like
Yeah.
not worth anything, not worth like couldn't even compete in arena, couldn't do anything with it.
I do remember you talking
Yeah.
about that, and you were like,
Fuck.
this is
I'm
enough.
done.
Yeah.
One of the big scandals they had with MSF was like people were flat out exploiting it. Like they found ways to exploit the leaderboards.
Oh jeez.
And it was reported over and over and over again to devs, and devs didn't do shit
Yeah.
about it. So you had the people that would like dump their entire days into trying to score well, and then they'd get pushed out of a reward tier because someone just went in and cheated their way through it.
The early days of GOH was before even guilds. There were like, if you signed up, I don't know, it was like 6-hour blocks of when you created your account, and that was your arena
Yeah,
Oh.
or something.
that's how
Interesting.
MSF did it.
Yeah.
The shards.
So yeah, that's
So
how
that
they
like
generated the
determined
shards.
like what server you were playing.
Pretty
on?
much, yeah. You would have like you would find a Discord for your shard, and then everybody would like your arena payout was a different time depending on when you signed up in your shard. So like some people's arena would pay out at like 3 a.m. because they were drunk and that's when they started the game. It's like fuck, I can't compete.
Oh man.
No, I never found Discord or anything for my shard.
No, I was never.
Which the people at the top of it, they like locked that shit down.
Yeah.
I mean, they would coordinate
Yeah.
their attacks,
Yep.
and
Exactly.
if you weren't in that little group, you didn't
No.
crack it. And I really wanted to get to number 1. That was my goal. And I peaked at 13.
I think I cracked the top 10 once or twice for a couple days before I got meta completely out.
Yeah, I
Maybe
peaked,
7. Something tells me I made it the 7th.
no, I peaked at 13, and then it was just the whales way ahead of me, and way ahead of me. Like power levels were just disgusting.
I always loved it when it was like, okay, this character just dropped, and you look at your arena and somebody's maxed it out. It's like, oh, man. Like, to max it out, that's like $300 to max a character out on drop. And they were doing that reliably every 2 weeks or something. That's insane. Even if you've got that kind of money, what are you doing playing this game if you have that kind of money?
Yeah, you should have better things to do.
Yeah,
with your
like
time.
if you have that much money,
like the game's not that good that
Yeah.
it's worth spending that kind of money
Exactly.
on. So like, why are you doing this?
yeah. I never
One of the
understood
guys I
that.
started with was like, you know, he was over in Singapore, so the exchange rate already wasn't great for him.
Yeah.
But like, you know, those like $5 50 shard deals would pop up, and everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, you know, that's not a bad deal. I'll go in on that." And that's how I started. And then it just went fucking crazy. Like he went from being my power level to being one of the strongest players in the game. Like he was
Just 'cause
constantly
they kept
racing
pumping
to,
money in.
yeah. And I like just remembering how he was like, you know, I don't really have the money to throw into this game. Way back in the day, to being like, I have spent 6 digits on this game. It's like, dude, your wife is going to murder you.
Yeah, your dad. Dead man walking.
Were you sure it was a Singapore dude or was it Johnny Rotten? Did you hear that story?
No.
He had an addiction to iPhone games and he was dumping like 6 figures into it.
Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Wow.
Yeah. You ever played Strike Force with Johnny Rotten?
I have 2 things to tell you guys. Number 1, I got this series of texts from Casey.
Mm-hmm. Because you probably heard it, right?
Yes. And number 2, the Elder Scrolls games are among the most broken, unbalanced games I've ever played in my entire life. There are bugs that were reported 15 years ago in Skyrim that still existed in the fucking Switch enhanced port. Like, they didn't fix anything. And Elder Scrolls Online, on the other hand, granted, it's not Bethesda,
Yeah.
but
Partially, but no, it's developed by Sauce.
yeah, like Bethesda owns the IP rights.
Yeah.
But yeah, they used to order e-liquid from us, by the way, not Bethesda, but the company that was doing ESO.
Oh, you should have pissed that.
This was before the game even came out. We didn't know. We didn't know yet. They
You're vaping piss, bro!
they would order a bunch of juice, like a box full of bottles of e-liquid, and have it shipped to their company headquarters. And I was like, this name sounds familiar. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, Dustin, these are the people who are making Elder Scrolls. And he's like, see if you can get us beta keys.
You just had to name it D&D and cater to those nerdy pieces of shit.
They were very reliable customers, though. Every month they'd drop a few hundred bones on Icefire Elixir.
Well, it's probably... I mean, I imagine most overworked, underpaid game developers do need a little something to get through the day, so...
Gotta get that Nick fix.
Yeah.
The level of contempt between the devs and the fan base right now is so
man.
fucking awful.
Is it the same devs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the last 2 months, it's been like a bunch of people just pushing to try to finish all like the hard mode content because it's not going to be doable anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. When I forgot to turn my auto renew off, so back in like March, one day I logged in and I had a bunch of in-game currency, and I was like, "Why do I have this?" And because
when you subscribe, they give you currency?
yeah,
Interesting.
they give you like 1,500 a month
Okay.
for their crown store. And I logged in and I had 12 months worth, and I was like, wait, what? Oh, fuck.
Do they charge you for like a year?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that sucks.
Yeah, because the monthly rate is lower if you pay for a
Yeah.
whole year at once.
Yeah, and when I initially
course.
signed up for the year, I was like, yeah, I really enjoy this, and I have a lot to do. I can see myself playing this for a year.
And you did.
Yeah, and now, when it re-upped like that, it was before all this current nonsense, but if I had thought of it at that time, I'd have been like, I might dial it back and just do like 3 months or something and see how I feel, because I'm logging in to do crafting dailies and see what people are up to at this point. But yeah, now I'm fucking on the hook for another 6 months. So it's like I guess I have to log in occasionally and at least make use of this, but it's not promising.
Could you maybe cancel it and get it prorated?
I doubt it, because most of the crowns are gone.
Oh, so you already spent the currency.
Yeah.
Well, and even if they wanted to like dock your refund for that, I don't even know that they'd be willing to, because if people are just leaving the game already,
they're probably hanging on to
They are
anything they can
fucking
get.
Peacing out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the devs have got to be considering cutting and running at this point.
This should have been me leaving fucking MMOs, but instead, like, 2 people I play with are like, "Oh yeah, it seems like everyone's gone to Final Fantasy."
That's kind of fun.
I'm like,
I fucked
all
around
right,
in there.
I'll download Final Fantasy. I paid $20, but you get like a free month with it.
Yeah, I fucked around.
Oh, okay.
I fucked around with it. It's actually got one of the best. It's got an from what I've heard from long timers, it's got a great Final Fantasy story, which we haven't gotten since arguably, what, 10?
If that.
Yeah, depending on who you talk to.
I thought 10 was a fine story.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Not
call it
great.
among the best.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, it's actually got one of the best Final Fantasy stories. The only good Final Fantasy story since 10 is from what I'm hearing.
Wow.
It's like locked behind an MMO.
It's the only Final Fantasy I've played since 7, so this is 25 years for me.
Yeah.
And
I fucked around with it. It's an MMO, but it looks great. And they
that's a big selling point for MMOs. If it's pretty,
it's very pretty, and also they like. That's the one that they released, and they were like, "Oh shit, it's terrible," and they completely took it offline, rebuilt it.
Is that 14?
Yeah,
11.
Yeah, 14.
Is 11 still going?
I think the servers got turned off in like 2018 or 19 or something like that. Yeah. I remember watching a YouTube video of somebody walking around it was like a melancholy, like, I'll never step foot in this world again. It was kind of fun to watch. Somebody was like, I made lifelong friends in here. It's like, oh.
Oh man.
That sucks.
They should give everybody like a single player version of the world. All you can do is just walk around.
Yeah, right?
that's how I feel about ESO. Like, I've spent 2 years playing that game with people now, and everyone's just like, "Oh, fuck this game."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, totally get it, but
At the same time, you've become a little attached.
now what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna say, oh well, we'll see each other on Discord, and then
That'll go.
you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, those people just stop popping in.
Like a good old. Oh man, there was a guy in my Galaxy of Heroes game, Dagger of Mortis. It's a Star Wars thing.
Okay.
And
Take your word for it.
He let you know it. Like he played.
The reassurance.
Oh, he was a treat. He was the. I don't know a way to. Josh will know what I mean, and I'll explain it. He was the Necronate of Galaxy of Heroes, aka for Doug. Everything he said in game related back to Star Wars. Everything.
Oh, he
didn't play it like in character.
He wasn't RPing.
Not
He
RPing.
just literally never talked about anything but Star Wars.
But it was like, if you're like, hey, I'm going to go in there and do X amount of damage, then it's your turn. He'd be like, hey, I just went in there and I did X amount of damage, like Luke did to the Death Star! Exclamation point, your turn. He was a fucking treat. Everybody's like, he's so annoying. I was like, oh no, he's wonderful.
Man, that's the guy you want.
I was like, this guy's entertaining as
that
hell.
guy's autistic.
That guy's having fun.
Because eventually I was just like, I would like get up in the morning, hit the chat, just scroll till I saw his name, because it was all in caps. It was very easy to find.
That guy is the Guitar Wolf of fans.
Yeah.
He was. Oh yeah, he was. He was awesome. He was great.
Oh,
Necronate was a guy on the old horror punk boards where everything was everything just like that had something to do with tombstones or have a bloody day or whatever it was. He was a treat too.
When Cancer Slug sings the song with the box cutter, I'm gonna cut my fucking face off and run around the pit. Rah!
What if he did that? Holy shit, that guy doesn't.
Found Nate.
Can anybody pick his face up, please?
But you know what? In fairness, back then I was like, well, let's just stay the fuck away from Nate.
Yeah.
Let's watch Nate from a distance.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah, you're right.
This guy seems like he might be cool, but also might be like super uncool.
Yeah. Let's just say like, oh hi Nate, and then keep going.
I mean, we had a Paulie, and that was enough.
Yeah.
That might have been too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too much.
Guys are like, I need my no sugar Mountain Dew.
I
Otherwise, I'm up for a week. Ah!
I remember people being like, "You're really gonna have this random guy come stay with you for a week?" It'd be like,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
it'd be like, you think like, it is a little weird.
It's like, yeah, it's a horror punk guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
cool.
bro. It'll be fine.
Yeah, he's a bro. And then he showed up and it was like, well, hey, I'm in no danger.
You may be in danger of losing your damn
Yeah,
mind.
I am in no danger whatsoever. But this was not what I expected. Because we didn't even talk. Like, we didn't even like talk on the phone. I didn't know what he
It
sounded
was
like
all
until he
text
showed
communication
up.
on a forum before that?
Yeah, I didn't know what he sounded like until he showed up.
And you were just like literally come to my house.
And he
That's
got
probably by design.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
like
hear my voice. They're gonna kill me.
You don't invite that to live with you for a week. Or how long was he there?
like a week and a half. It was like 10 days, right? I think
Yeah.
it was like 10 days. Yeah, we like met him. We met him at HIA.
There are very few people in this world I could handle for 10 days.
Oh man,
Yo, Bev was fucking tired of
Bev would have been like, Kenneth, I know I'm a good Christian, but listen to him.
I'm gonna fucking kill him, Kenny.
He's doing the Polly strut out of the kitchen with like a cheese stick in his mouth.
Like, anybody else hear ska music when they bite into this?
I listened to a ska cover of...
I'm gonna fucking kill him, Kenny.
I'm a good Christian, Kenny, but I'm gonna fucking kill your friend.
I'm gonna use the grabber he broke and do it too.
For that night, I did him and my cousin up in corpse paint, and we went and took pictures.
I remember you were just supposed to do your cousin up. They got all jealous.
I covered him in blood.
You knew me.
I come home the next day, and he's like passed out on the floor, covered in blood, and I'm like, "Oh, you did him up too?" And she's like, "Oh, I did something." Roll the rug up. We gotta get him somewhere. Roll him up in that rug.
Oh.
She's like, "We're gonna take him up to High Spire. They got a wood chipper over by the recycling center."
Oh, Bev put up with some shit. There's certainly a cast of characters that came through that
Yeah.
abode.
Somebody or other said something. I have to get this out before I forget about it. Speaking of ska, which was a bit ago,
Yeah.
but somebody said something about a ska version of System of a Down,
Oh boy.
and I was like I think they were saying that in the sense of like that sounds like something horrible that shouldn't happen, but I started thinking about it and I'm like, no, there's some System of a Down songs that could do with some horns. like you could throw a brass section into System of a Down sometimes. And so I looked it up, and yeah, there's a French band, a French ska band that covers System of a Down, and it's actually really good.
That doesn't surprise me. Ska bands don't know the meaning of no.
Or shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Every ska band starts because some of your friends in high school get into punk rock, but you're a band geek and you still want to hang out with them. That's
I
how
play
ska
trumpet.
Yeah, that's how ska bands start. I've made that decision.
Like, can
That's
you
absolutely
play
the
power
case.
chords on a trumpet?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because if you look at the horn section of your typical ska punk band, yeah, that's what's happening there.
Yeah.
Good on them, you know?
It's fine. I actually really enjoy the music. I find it difficult to be upset when I listen to ska music. If I'm genuinely upset before I put on the ska music, sometimes it doesn't work and I just have to turn off the ska. Like either the anger or the ska has to go, and sometimes it's the ska.
Outside of the Boss Tones,
No, Real Big Fish?
Sellout's good.
And Beer?
I don't know that one.
That was the one
Beer
from
was good.
from Basketball.
I just know the hit.
I mean, I like the Boss Tones. I liked Voodoo Glow Skulls.
That's a hard one to go back to.
Isn't it? That's why I said liked.
Yeah. You can't listen to that at our advanced age.
I still maintain that the Aquabats are
I don't even know an Aquabat song.
oh, I love the Aquabats. They're just fucking goofy.
Yeah.
It's their whole shtick. And then they did that one album that kind of almost sounded like they were trying to do horror punk. It was like
I know that something like that happened.
Yeah, it wasn't like actually horror punk, but like it got a lot less ska
Yeah.
and a lot more like pop. Honestly, more like pop punk than anything. But like
A little
that's
darker.
just kind of how they sound
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, it was weird. I liked it though.
I really liked Less Than Jake.
I
They
know
were
it's
one of
not
my
all
favorite bands in like the early years of high school.
Hmm.
But they're also a band that just makes me miserable if I hear them now. And I can't really figure it out because they're not typically a sad band. You know, it's a very upbeat band.
Huh. Like
But-
I get miserable if I listen to like Saves the Day, but there's a reason for that.
You just hate Saves the Day.
No, but
I don't
their
like that
music
al-
could be a bit of a downer. Sometimes.
I don't like that album cover. I hate that album cover.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have more than one album. I
They
know,
do, but I
the
know which one you're
album-
talking
yeah,
about.
I hate that fucking album cover. It's a terrible album cover.
I appreciated Saves the Day more after high school than I did during high school.
yeah. It was actually right after high school that I started to enjoy them more. Like I was listening to them at work when I worked at the state. Briefly.
I just remember Skippy like wanted us to cover a Saves the Day song in our band that wasn't a bunch of Nazis. A real good thing that those patches never took off. But yeah, and I was like, I don't want to play emo music. 'Cause all I want to do is fucking play the Casualties and Misfits.
Yeah,
back
right.
then.
We had a very, very conflicted group in that musical group. And not in the way where it's like multiple influences come together to create something new.
No, not at all.
That was not going to happen.
You know, multiple influences came together to not play anything.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, speaking of playing things,
Hey,
let's play some games.
let's do games.
I got a ska song in my head now.
Huh?
Yeah, 5 Iron Frenzy.
Didn't they do something objectionable recently?
I don't know.
I feel like they might have.
Arnold and Willie. A song about. Not Hey Arnold. Who's the boss? No, not Who's the Boss. Arnold and Willis and Mr. Drummond. What show was that?
Fuck, what the hell is it called?
Yeah,
Little
I don't
guy.
remember.
Right?
Yeah,
Little guy.
yeah. It wasn't Webster.
No, it was the guy, Gary Coleman.
It was the one with Gary Coleman.
Yeah. You could piss on him in Postal.
What?
In Postal 2?
Yeah. Yeah, he was a character in Postal. He was
okay. I missed the postal part.
You can piss on him. That Gary Coleman. No, he's dead now.
Yeah.
It was the one, yeah, with Willis.
His show.
Different Strokes.
Yes. Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. They did it. That's the song I have stuck in my head.
That was the one where they were.
Like they went to live with the old rich white man.
Yeah. That was Different Strokes.
Oh man, I just pulled up the game, so I'd also had Dead by Daylight written above. Any of you guys fucking played Dead by Daylight?
Is that the game where one person's the killer?
Yeah.
No, I love the idea. I never played it though.
Listen, I love the idea, and for the past couple years it's been available. Every time it pops up on sale, I'm like, I really want to get that because that just sounds so cool.
Yeah.
But I never did get it because, multiplayer games, I'm thinking like, what if there's no one to play it with? Then I'm going to spend this money for nothing. Well, PlayStation Plus, whatever their weird tiers are now, they really said it's a free game for them.
Oh.
So
there were definitely going to be some people playing it.
well, apparently it's still a very popular game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're still churning out tie-ins and everything.
Yeah, aren't they
that's
dropping
awesome.
in like Leatherface and
Yeah.
Freddy
Cenobites.
and everybody but Jason because they just ripped the whole game off for him.
Yeah,
No,
pretty
J-
much.
Jason is in that.
That was that.
Oh, he
game.
is?
Yeah.
Fuck that. We're gonna make our own game and make money off of you.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Oh, and they just made an Evil Dead game like that. But
Yeah.
sure enough, they have action there.
Huh.
Yeah. But anyway, like it's still a very popular game. It's not hard to find people playing it. I thought this is finally my time. Yo.
That game looks hard as fuck.
It looks stressful.
The difficulty is not what
That's
you
not
gotta
the
worry
issue.
about. I played that game for like an hour and I deleted it. I was like, I cannot fucking deal with this.
Are we talking about the voice chat or the game itself?
The game
I'm
itself.
thinking we're talking about the stress the game induces.
And
Yeah.
the control in the game's fine. The mechanics of the game are fine.
What about when you're playing the monster?
Fun. But I would feel like an asshole just queuing up as a monster every
Yeah.
fucking time.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when your character's heart starts beating because the killer's getting close, and you see like the red fucking streaks, all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, no, this is not fun. This is not fun. And you're fucking running, and
Yeah, I don't think I could deal with that.
I mean, it's a lot of fun when you go back through your head and think about like all the ways to try to escape the killer
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
obstacles you throw down. But when you're living it, nope, no, I don't fucking play horror games anymore for this reason.
I've watched people play it, and I'm like, oh, that was fun as hell for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. That's like the when they redid all those Resident Evil games, the two and 3. Like 2 was fucking great. Like I had a blast with that game. And then I got 3, I think the same day I got the Final Fantasy VII remake, and I'd like which one am I gonna play? And I'd look at 3 and I'm like, I'm not ready for that. And then the pandemic hit and everything was shit, and I was like, I don't think I can take that. I still haven't played it.
Oh, man, yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly, I think that Silent Hill 2 was scarier than Silent Hill 3.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 was Jacob's Ladder.
Yes.
Freaky.
Silent Hill 1 and 3 were a horror story, but it felt more like a Hammer movie than anything else. Like,
Yeah.
not visually or anything, but like plot-wise. It's like, okay, so there's a cult, and then they have this little girl, and...
1 was just weird. Like, one was cool for me because I just came across it. I didn't know what it was. I just bought it at Walmart because it was in the bin.
Man, you got lucky.
Yeah, I know. I don't still have it, but
Huh?
I don't still have it. But that was a treat because it was just a completely foreign thing that I knew
mean,
nothing
I feel
about.
like you got lucky that you got to experience
Yeah,
that back then.
yeah.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
very cool, and it was the hokiness of it was because the voice acting was not great, and it was a PlayStation 1 game, so it looked chunky
Yeah.
and wobbly.
That's
But it
why
was a
so-
lot of fun.
I was so pissed off when they did the HD remakes of
Yeah.
2 and 3 because they didn't do 1.
Yeah, 2 and 3 didn't. All they did
One-
was fuck them up.
1 fucking needed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 and 3 they just made it like worse.
Yeah.
They took away some of the like main features of the game in the name of upping the resolution.
Yeah,
a little bit.
like, that's not how that works, bro.
No.
Yeah, 2 was
Like,
scary as fuck. I never beat 2.
Did you ever see the Silent Hill remakes?
No.
Like they basically took out the fog.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I would think the fog's one of the things that really makes that game.
yeah, I don't know if
Kind of
you've
the
seen the
point of it.
movie, but like even the movie was just all about it was smoke in the movie, but like it was everywhere.
Mhm.
It's like the calling card of Silent Hill.
I think they fucked up the soundtrack real bad too.
Oh,
like the
really?
levels of the voice levels and shit.
Oh yeah, I do remember hearing
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like in the cutscenes and stuff,
That's
the
the
voice
thing.
acting was.
Yeah, 2 was.
Oh, and they redid the voice acting too.
Did they? I kind of think they did.
And they got a
Yeah.
different voice actor for one of the major characters, and people were like upset about it because some of the audio they reused, and then
So
some
you
of
can
it they
hear it.
recorded with some of them they re-recorded it, and the person who originally did the part said that they had been available,
Yeah.
but they were never contacted about
Just-
it, and they just went and found
Just
somebody
didn't
else.
want to pay him, probably. Or
I guess I don't think anybody that did voice acting for Silent Hill is like a huge like top
Yeah.
dollar person.
they
That's
probably
kind of not
somebody
even how
got a
voice
deal.
acting works, honestly.
Yeah. No, 2 was scary as fuck because you could finally see what was going on. I remember
Yeah.
getting stuck in the hospital in this room. I never went back and replayed it. But the boss was, there were like, you know those tracks that the hospital the curtains are on.
Yeah.
There were those in the ceiling, and there were beds ish kind of things. This is my memory. I might be completely wrong, but there were beds hanging from these tracks, and they had like body bags on them that had arms that were going after you, and I was like, ah! It's like,
Yeah, it's freaky.
this is fucking nightmare shit, and I didn't have enough ammo, and I never went back to the game.
Pyramid Head's also in Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I bet he's not a fun monster to play as. He's just slow.
So is Jason.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Jason
Jason
has
actually had a-
special powers in that game.
Yeah, he can teleport.
Yeah, I
shit.
think he can teleport. Pyramid Head, I can't imagine what his powers would be if they wanted to keep it faithful to the games, because he doesn't really have any. He's just a dude with a big thing on his head and a huge knife who just kind of drags it around really slowly, and every so often goes "Ugh," to attack you.
Scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think I saw they're coming out with a Killer Clowns game.
Yeah,
I like that idea. I don't know what it's probably one of these style games.
it is.
It's gonna be
Is it?
bad.
Yeah, it's one of these style games. I think it could be fun to play though.
I'd play it.
Yeah.
I think it's real cool that all these old properties are getting a little bit of money right now,
Yeah.
but I don't want to play them. Like,
Well, buy them. I'd be interested
Yeah.
in playing a Killer Clowns game just to see what it's like.
But you're not gonna spend $50 on it.
No way.
I mean, the
No
new
way.
Ghostbusters game coming out. It's what you've wanted from a Ghostbuster game. You and 3 other people are actual Ghostbusters. You go and you bust a ghost. It's not like that weird multiplayer that was in that game we played.
This kid spent we played multiplayer once, and this kid spent the entire round going just screaming because the first time he was on a microphone, and the last
What the fuck?
the last
Yeah.
thing I heard before the game, before the session closed, was Josh said like "fuck my life" or something, and then it ended.
The game was not good enough to put up with that.
No.
Is it like Xbox 360?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this kid did it for like 10 minutes.
Oh god.
But yeah, the new Ghostbusters game, it's like 4 Ghostbusters versus a ghost, and you
Okay.
gotta go catch it. It's
Do you think it's going to be a lot like it's going to borrow from what that really popular game that the kids play these days, where you're going to like haunted locations and trying to like suss out a ghost.
no.
You don't know what that is?
I
Oh, you know.
I
you
know what
I
you're
mean.
talking about, but no,
It's going to
it
be all
seems more
Ghostbustery.
like Dead by Daylight.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's just 4 people versus 1, or what was that other game? Was it Prey or something? Where it's the group versus the monster.
Oh, no, Evolve.
Evolve.
Oh yeah. Oh,
because
that was tight.
a person's going to actually control the ghost and try to get you before you get it.
Okay.
But that seems to be like the new standard for these games. Like that was the Evil Dead game as well. You know, the online thing that
Presumably it's going to be the Killer Clowns game.
yeah. I just don't know. It doesn't make sense to me that these games are going to sell.
Yeah.
Because I know the Evil Dead game's already like discounted to like $25,
Oh my
and it's
God.
been out for a very short time.
It takes a lot to get me to buy any multiplayer game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last time that I did that, sight unseen, was fucking what's it called? Gotham City Imposters. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was that DC game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's Gotham City, but yeah, like I think I paid $20 for that game, and it was literally less than a month later that they were like, "It's free to play now."
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when I tried it.
And I logged in after it was free to play, and I don't think anybody was even playing
Probably
it.
not.
Like it was free, and nobody was playing it at that point. It wasn't great, but just the fact that I bought it, and then all of a sudden, like it hadn't been out for long when I bought it either. It wasn't like an old game that they decided to make free. They just nobody liked it, so they made it free, and still nobody liked it. It wasn't worth nothing.
It wasn't worth the time to play.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But recently, though, I bought the Rifftrax video game, which is basically Jackbox, but Rifftrax.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a bunch of old movie clips.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, it'll show you the old movie clip, and then you have to type in a riff.
Nice. That's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And it will have a text to speech engine like read out your riff, because otherwise it loses its punch.
Yeah.
But like, it's a text to speech engine, and it's not a great one.
Yeah.
But you can also play against a computer player who uses actual Rifftrax riffs.
Oh, nice.
But it uses the actual sample
Yeah. So you're
from
playing against them.
Rifftrax. But everybody knows that it's the Rifftrax one because it's
Yeah.
it's fucking
Yeah.
It's the sample.
It's-
Bob Servo and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Sorgo?
Servo, wasn't that his name?
Tom.
Servo. Bob
Bob Sergo.
That's a robot name, right?
The robot Bob Saget.
Yeah, it's like Kevin Murphy and
Yeah.
and who's in that? Is it Joel Hodgson?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you hear Joel Hodgson read the line, well,
You know
you
who
know
it
that
was?
that's yeah. And so Casey and I tried to play it against each other with that opponent, and like you could either vote for your wife or the professional comedians.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes the professional comedians win, but like there's only 2 people,
Yeah.
or there's only one person voting because one is the computer and the other one is competing in that
Yeah.
round. So, but they recently put out an update where there was online play and matchmaking. So you say what you want to play a game, it'll find you a server that's looking for somebody to play with them. And that sounds fantastic. Nobody's playing it
Yeah.
ever.
Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game seems like it would, like the game itself to play with your friends would be fun if your friends are funny and you have enough of them handy to play.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We were gonna play games, weren't we?
Spark, take a look at this subspace news article. Some fool blew his own face off while cleaning a loaded phaser.
Fascinating, Captain. Was it someone aboard the Enterprise?
No, Spark, it happened in Florida.
yeah, so our states this week, they are Florida, naturally, Michigan, and North Carolina.
Oh.
Headline number one. Republican nominee for governor says underage rape victims should find healing through having the baby rather than an abortion.
Yeah, that sounds healing. Yeah.
That's who they nominated. Like, this is a good.
That is the nominee.
That's the nominee.
Oh boy. I mean, I've heard that Mitch McConnell is like, we're probably gonna like lose.
Yeah, we fucked this up severely.
And he even said like the quality of the candidates that we're running have a lot to do with why we're gonna lose. You think, Mitch? You fucking turtle-looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
No, I agree.
Don't count on it.
Don't believe it until it
But-
happens.
Different times.
But even he's like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work out well.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'm right there with you, random guys from Pennsylvania.
Mitch McConnell's like, I'm voting blue, no matter who.
Mitch is like, I like my vegetable trays from Wagwers too.
From Weewaws.
I imagine a turtle would chomp down some asparagus raw.
Or with some salsa.
Have you ever
on it.
had a sub from Speets? Headline number 2. Man pulled over under suspicion of DUI tells police, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm drunk.
Not bad. I mean, if you're
Sir,
clearly
we knew.
fucking hammered,
Yeah. If you're hammered enough to say that to a cop that just pulled you over,
you probably
knew.
should just come clean. Yeah.
well,
I'm
yeah.
they pulled you
alone.
over.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, this is a good guy, let's let him go. Nope,
Nope.
don't work like that, sir.
Yeah.
Headline number 3.
We just won't beat you to death.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's not bank on that either.
If you're white.
Yeah. If you're drunk and white, you might survive this.
Yeah.
Headline number 3. Sheriff says woman allegedly set fire to wrong house while seeking revenge on her ex-boyfriend.
Ooh. Do we know whose house she burned down?
I would hope it's his neighbor.
Yeah, like just in the complete wrong part of town.
Yeah.
It just looks like a random arson.
Woman burns down a Walmart.
I thought he lived at the Walmart. That's all.
We always,
I always
that's
saw
where
him
I
there.
that's where I always met him.
He got them lights on. Always having lights on.
Florida, where in North Carolina?
Florida, Michigan, and
Michigan.
North Carolina.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put the abortion idiot in Michigan. The lady burning the wrong house. Whoo boy, in Florida,
All right.
and the drunk guy in North Carolina.
And Doug.
I'll put the burning down the wrong house in Michigan. The drunk guy in Florida. And the abortion idiot in North Carolina.
All right. Well, you each went 1 for 1. And the winner and new Butterweight champion of the world, Dollar Menu Kid.
There was really no indication that would have been Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, at the best of times, it is really just a guess, but
Florida was the drunk. Michigan was the governor.
okay.
and North
that's
Carolina
the only one I was confident
Was the
about.
fire.
I saw a headline from Russia that I thought may have ended up here. Whew.
from Russia.
Yeah. Some dude broke into a hair salon, but the owner was a black belt, so she beat the shit out of him, tied him up, and then fed him Viagra for 3 days.
I saw that.
And kept him as a sex slave before she released him. That's a hell of a turn of events.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
That'll learn him.
Yep.
Imagine day 2, you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
It takes till day 2?
Well, like, probably like, you got your ass kicked, and then she ties you up, and then she gets your dick out, and you're like, okay, let's see where this, like, maybe
Yeah.
this isn't that bad. And then she just keeps feeding you blue pills. You're just like, dear God.
I mean, being a hair salon, she's probably like, I'll scare the shit out of him with these scissors. But then she's like, well, I can do something.
Yeah, she was like, oh. Good thing everything is over the counter over here. I don't know if they are or not. But
Hey, who knows? This person sounds like the kind of person who would have a just constant stockpile of Viagra tablets that nobody knows why.
You guys ever get stuck on a phrase and replace lyrics and songs with that phrase for like a week or two?
Sure.
I've been walking around singing meat sweats over everything.
like, from
Can we get a for instance?
like Ratfink? M. I say M-E.
M-E-A. M-E-A-T.
That is absolutely an instance now.
Meat sweats.
Meat sweats, yeah. Meat sweats, yeah. Do some AC/DC with it. Alright, joke of the week time.
Here, in its natural habitat, on a tiny islet off the coast of Belgium, we observe the majestic and elusive joke of the week.
We normally shy away from political jokes for some reason, but fuck Donald Trump, so... How many Trump supporters does it take to change a light bulb?
I feel like we could, if we had a few minutes to think about it,
You'd
we
all
could
come up
probably
with good punchlines.
we could come up with
Yeah.
several minutes worth of good punchlines for this.
Yeah.
I say none. Trump says it's changed, and his supporters cheer in the dark.
Oh,
Nice. Yep.
yeah. Oh boy.
What a fucking moron. Thanks for listening, everybody.
But you cannot fuck around with...
You're fired, Adam. You're all washed up in this business.